good. Maybe we'll get
Good.
Milan to throw the jersey on.
Perfect. There we go.
Looks good, bud. Looks good. Ready to step up. All right.
Just head away, JJ?
He's going to start off with a couple statements, and then we'll go into some questions.
Just before I talk about the Oilers, I just want to thank everyone from the LA Kings organization, especially Dean Lombardi, Daryl Sutter, and especially my former teammates for bringing me in a a real tough time in my life and supporting me and getting me through tough times and embracing me and to their fans for embracing me over last season. Like I said, through a tough time in my life, and I can't thank them enough for that. And now, with the next chapter of my life, I'd like to thank especially Daryl Cates for bringing me here, part of and giving me this opportunity to be at Edmonton Oiler, and Peter Chiarelli and Bob Nicholson and Kevin Lowe and Craig McTavish for this great opportunity, and I'm excited to get it going once puck drops starts in October.
Okay. Take questions, guys. Go ahead. Yeah.
Glenn, what would you say was the number one reason why you picked Edmonton?
Connor McDavid. It's and also and my loyalty to Peter, and obviously I've been with him for 8 years in Boston and saw what he was able to do there with the team that we had and turn us into champions, and going back to McDavid, just getting an opportunity to play with one of the best players, I would say, of this time. And I know he missed a good chunk of the season last year with an injury, but from what I saw, what he was able to do, he's definitely up there with the Crosbys of the world and his ability. And to have that opportunity to play with a player like that doesn't come around so often. And I think with having the opportunity to play with a guy like that, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel here. And there hasn't been that here in a long time in Edmonton, and I wanted to do whatever I could to help and be a part of it. And I truly believe that in a couple of years we're going to be contending for a Stanley Cup, because we have a player like that. It's just finding the right pieces in order to make that happen.
Can you expand on the Chiarelli part of it?
Like I said, it's the pieces that he put in place in order for us to be champions in Boston. I saw it happen firsthand. It's making the right moves at the right time and having the right fit, and I have full confidence in him that he's going to do that here in Edmonton.
Did you talk to Connor during the courtship, if we call it that?
I did not. I did not talk to Connor before I came, but I just talked to him a little bit through text messages today, and it's good to see that he's excited that I'm here as well. So hopefully Todd puts us on the same line together, so he can set me up for a few this season.
People look at the length of the contract and wonder how physically you're going to hold up over a 7-year term. What can you say about physically how you feel and where you think your game will be at in the tail years?
Well, a lot of people forget, I just turned 28 this month, so I'm still young as far as hockey age goes, and just because I played 9 years doesn't mean I don't have a lot left. And I think coming to a place like this is definitely going to be refreshing for me. And I mean, if you look at the last 6 seasons, I've only missed 10 games, and only I think 4 of them were due to injury. So I've been able to hold up, especially playing the way that I do. I think I average around 250 hits in the 9 years that I've been in the league. So good thing I have the Eastern European strong bones and stuff like that on my side to be injury free. Knock on wood. And hopefully I can keep that going. I've always taken pride in keeping myself in good shape, and I continue to do that. I'm going to continue doing that moving along.
What do you think of the building in the
probably the number one UFA sought after today. No number one sought after UFA has ever come to Edmonton like this on a day like today. What does that mean?
It's great. Obviously, it's exciting for me, and I think it's exciting for Oilers fans. And I think, like I said, it's about time. This team starts heading in the right direction. And like I said, I just wanted to be a part of that. And it's also about time. This team started having a little bit of attitude and a little bit of swagger, because I think that's been missing over the last couple of years. I can tell you from an opponent standpoint, you were never scared or intimidated heading into a game against the Oilers. So I think that's something that we all have to change as a group. I don't think it's just comes to one or two guys. I think it's as a group we have to change that, and we need to start. We need to send a message right from the first puck drop.
What are your impressions of the building behind us here?
Well, it's pretty unbelievable. I'm thankful that I got to take a tour of it on Tuesday, and what Mr. Cates is doing for this team and for this city and for the fans with what he's building here behind us is truly unbelievable. And I think not only it's the best arena in hockey, I think it's the best arena in the world for sports, and I think he's giving the Oilers fans something truly special to be able to watch their team in a building like that. And it's another reason why I wanted to be a part of it.
When you went into Boston, you were a young guy and saw the team build. You'll come here and you'll be looked upon as a veteran. You've won the Stanley Cup, and you talked about being a harder team to play against. That's your style. Darnell Nurse, obviously, you saw firsthand that he's not going to back down. How do you instill that in the entire group?
Like I said, it's something that you got to do as a group, and you got to kind of have that attitude and that, like I said, that attitude and that swagger, and that's something that you have to build as a team. And you got to have a little bit of the right type of cockiness that you're going into a game knowing that you can win every game, and that has to be the mindset. Obviously, you can't be arrogant about it. You can't overlook things, but you got to take things one step at a time to be a harder team to play against. And I think doing it as a group, wave after wave, shift after shift, guys going out there committed to do the same thing. That's how it starts. The process of being a harder team to play against.
Glenn, you talked about some of the, what personally it's been like for you the last year. You alluded to that. Emotionally, how do you feel coming here, and does this feel like a fresh start? So, where are you at, and having dealt with all of that stuff?
Yeah, it definitely feels like another, like a fresh start. I feel like a 19-year-old again going into Boston. That's what I feel like here. I cherish the opportunity. I look forward to the opportunity. I know things are gonna change overnight. It's gonna be the same type of process that I went through in Boston, but coming out of it and seeing, having the end result is really what makes it, worthwhile. And I truly believe that that's going to happen here, and that's what I think. It's such a refreshing feeling to come into a situation like this.
You've played in a league for the last 9 years that big name players, stars from other towns, they just don't come to Edmonton. What's it feel like signing here for 7 years? What's changed?
Like I said, I think the McDavid factor changes it all. I think, I go back to Pittsburgh, before they got Sidney Crosby, nobody would sign there either. But once they got a piece like that, guys started going there, and hey, the team and the city is rewarded with 2 Stanley Cups. And I think with the McDavid factor here, that that the same result the same result can happen, and that's why that's why I chose to come here. I've spoken to a lot of GMs since Monday, and had a lot of different places I could have gone, but I chose Edmonton because of the fans and the history, and to get to play with one of the best players in this generation, and like I said, to be able to wear, you know, a jersey that some of the best players of all time have worn is also a special feeling, and you know, I hope that I get to do the same thing that they did, and it's raise the Stanley Cup here in Edmonton.
You won't get 17, that's for sure. But 27, you've used that in junior?
Yeah, it was 27 was my junior number, and it's actually the number that I've always wanted to wear since I've been in the NHL, but it was always taken, the teams that I was on. So I'm glad that I finally get to wear it. Some great names have worn it before me, so I think it's fitting that I wear it after the guys that have worn it before me. And so yeah, it feels nice, and it feels right to be back wearing number 27.
In Boston, it was a great sports town for sure. Edmonton's obviously very much, you know, they're the only real big NHL team, NBA or anything like that. And you wear that number and the style that you play. Edmonton's always kind of fell in love with those guys. Being a fan favorite in the Canadian market, did that play into the decision at all?
Actually, I've never thought of that. So the decision was made on all the things that I already talked about. So never really thought of that. But knowing to, you know, for me it's more than, you know, just you know, just playing for money or something like that. It's you know, it's about, you know, building a legacy in a place where you know you'll definitely be, you know, appreciated. And I think, you know, here more than anywhere, you know, they appreciate their Oiler players, and you know, hopefully I can live up to, you know, everything that they expect. So like I said, it's an honor to just put this jersey on, and you know, and finally their 2006 second round pick has shown up 10 years later. So you know, so with that type of I guess I think it's almost like it was meant to be.